here. Hopefully that person pulls away shortly so we don't have bright lights on our ghosts. I know we kind of need it with the one camera we have. But anyway, you're in a parking lot. I told you, I'm taking you to weird spaces. What is this place? First off, all you spirit box people, I am not going to give you questions like what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. You're going to get the answers from your spirit boxes and communication devices. So, where are we? This used to be the Eliza and Charles Pinckney mansion site. So their mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant and came all the way across to where we're standing now. And then the servant and slave quarters were in the back of the space. So that kind of gives you the layout. So who were these people? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks. That's why we look for secondary clues. I need to know which one's coming through. So again, we always look for those secondary clues. However, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. That's a big deal for us. But I hate politics more than everybody here. We're going to move on. If I don't bring it up, usually they will very angrily, like, give me the recognition I deserve. We're going to talk about Eliza instead. Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say today's standards because if you're going to ask her how old she was when she got married, don't expect numbers like 12 and 14 from the colonial times that she came from. Expect today's standards of numbers. And the reason I bring this up is because her husband, Charles, was over double her age. Kind of a creepy age gap back then, creepy age gap now. So, she married him because her father was over in England, and he thought he was dying. That's where Eliza's from. Well, the father was trying to bring all the children home so he could see them one last time, and Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put. She got married in 1744. You don't get married in 1744 to get a green card.
Situation we're in today.
Situation we're in today. Y'all catch that one? So again, kind of a weird thing. But again, not a green card because it's not a country
Yes.
yet. So with that being said, she stays put. Dad did not die right away. She was correct. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England to where we're standing right now. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. You guys have been in town for at least a day. You've seen the word indigo somewhere. I can guarantee it. Indigo is a plant that makes our blue jeans blue. So it makes a blue dye. So again, Lisa's wearing the jacket right now. So she's got the indigo on right now. The interesting thing is Eliza didn't know what to do with the seeds when she got them. She had to learn from her slaves on how to keep it cultivated. It's not always hot here. And then she had to learn how to make the dye. When she did that, she moved it to a cash crop, got a hold of her dad in England, and said, rice plantations are going downhill. We're going to make a killing with the indigo. And now we have an international businesswoman during colonial times. New. Those are random commercials. So, that's the boring business stuff of Eliza. Let's get into the weird stuff, because that's why you guys are all here. We have enough spirit boxes out here. I'm going to give everybody focal point questions based on the type of spirit box that you have. We're going to start with you. So, you guys are going to go after the children. Be very careful with this topic. It's a touchy subject. So, ask how many and what the children's names were. That's it. Reason why? There's a tragedy there. If you poke the bear, we're all going to know it's the two of you. Don't poke the bear. Not to mention, you'll be on camera. So we're all going to know it's you. If we poke the bear, all activity will stop. Have you gotten any EMF out of there yet? Nothing at all? Any colors coming out of yours?
No.
All right. So again, those are your focal point questions. In the event you're not getting answers, cherry pick from the other questions and it goes for everybody. We're going to have you go after Eliza's death. So
Eliza's dad?
Death.
Death.
How old she was when she died, what did she die from, where she's buried, what president was a pallbearer at her funeral. So, interesting thing is, with the word list, what was it? Boo-hoo. So, you're going to hopefully try to get Eliza's initials. We've had Eliza's name being spelled out here with an interference of one letter, and it was in anagram format. So, for example, Eliza was spelled E-U-L-Z-I-A. So I had all letters of Eliza with an interference of the U, because we don't need that. Hopefully just ask for her initials and let's see if we can get those. Now the interesting thing about her initials kind of coincides with the device that you have. So Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles, back to back. Yeah, kind of a jerk move or really smart depending on how you look at it. However, both Elizas had a maiden name that started with the letter L. So your initials are going to be ELP. You're going to find out what the maiden name is. If that makes sense to you. Also, again, you can cherry pick from the other questions.
How do you ask for it? How do you ask for it? Like,
just like you're talking to me right now.
Like out loud?
Out loud.
Okay.
Some people are uncomfortable with that. If you just want to focus on it, I've seen that work with certain people too.
Gotcha.
So again, some people are very uncomfortable with talking to somebody they can't see.
Yeah.
So again, Some people are just, that's why we spread out. That way you have your own personal space. I just bounce around with everybody and see what's going on. I do like 2 round robins to kind of see what we got going on. Is it legit? We stay longer. If it's not a whole lot of activity, I regroup and give you all the answers.
And I'm sorry, I'm asking for Eliza's initials.
Initials. I would really not go much further than that because that device is new. We're still trying to teach her how to use it.
Okay.
Last spirit box. The mansion's not here anymore. What the hell happened to it, and then when did that happen? A very specific date. If we get the what, we will normally get 2 or 3 numbers of the when. So again, out of the date. So again, very specific date. Notice that all of your questions that I handed out to you are non-yes/no questions. So if you go rogue and you ask your own questions, make sure it's something I can prove, which I cannot prove anything about the servants and the slaves, so don't even bother. Don't poke the bear. It's a prominent English woman. We do have to tiptoe around her a little bit to get her to interact with us. So this is a know your ghost type situation. So if you don't know your ghost, you're going to piss her off and we're going to have to leave. So hopefully this loud bus leaving is going to help us out a little bit.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, right? So again, if you want to cherry pick with, and again, keep in mind, a lot of you are going to be asking questions out loud. You might not get the answer, but the answer might go to somebody else. We're using a lot of communication devices. If you watch the TV shows, they normally only use 1 device at a time. Am I right? So we're using a lot of shit here. Let's make it work together. So we're gonna spread out, and I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to bounce around. So where's the Ouija board? So I gotta work with you for a few minutes to show you how that thing actually works a little bit further. So yeah, you're gonna have to handle a few things, but you'll be fine. It's very easy. But yeah, let's spread out, let's have some fun, and then I'll be bouncing around with everybody in the next few minutes, and we'll kind of see what we got going on here. All right, so here's your Ouija board. How many letters have you got?
I can't. You're gonna have to do it.
So this little dial, the little light, this is
got 1.8.
No, it's like when you
Oh, you
move
hit it.
quick, you gotta be like slower. I gotta get over 2.5. See how it goes through music when you're recording? Okay, so we're gonna ask Eliza.
Yeah, hey Liza.
Hi, Eliza.
What's up?
We just want to know how many kids you had.
What are your kids' names? I was just curious what her kids' names were.
3? Did you hear that? 3. The number 3 came through.
Okay. What are your kids' names?
Blood. Eliza, what were the names of your kids?
Family.
What? All the people?
That's why. It's like a drug you go out.
I know, how's this like allowed?
I'm sorry, Eliza. What are your kids' names?
Eliza, how old were your kids? I don't think so.
Calling everybody. Just put.
serious.
Liza, did you have 3 kids?
How are you two doing over here?
Good.
Anything you got coming out of there?
Okay, so we asked how many kids, and we got the answers 3, blood, and family.
3 blood. Family is a common term here. 3 is interesting. Did you like poke the bear a little bit?
I hope not.
Okay. If we poke the bear, she'll give us the answer 3. It's because she's telling you we don't want to talk about that 4th child.
Okay.
So it's a possibility. I want to see what else comes up, but you also have the word blood. Very vague, because that could be a lot of things.
And family.
Yeah.
Like in that order.
Any numbers showing up?
Mm-mm. It's pretty much staying between this, like the 0.3, 0.4.
Just so you know, up to 1.1 is the natural EMF from the Earth.
Okay.
That's why we go straight to 2.5. So that's kind of doubling what the capacity is coming in off the Earth.
Okay.
So nerd guy has to study all this shit so I can explain it to you guys and actually make sense of investigations when I'm out and about. So in between spaces, you can ignore the numbers because the parking meters are going to make it go off.
Okay.
The electrical lines for that are underneath our sidewalks, and they are strong enough to make it go up to like a 5 or 6.
Okay.
So don't get
I
excited.
noticed that, when I walk. That's because he first saw it, I was like, that happened when I walked.
I also want you to kind of play with the dial a little bit. You see the little MG next to your numbers?
Mm-hmm.
That means milligauss. So that's the exact same measurement, unit of measure, that's on the K2 meter that Lisa's using. So the other unit of milligauss is 2 dials over. Sorry if I'm getting too close to you.
Okay.
So play with it back and forth. So if you're not getting a reading one way and you're getting it another, I need to know if it's weighted or standard.
Okay.
So this is brand new to me too. So I'm still learning about this one, and I don't know what the VMAH yet means yet. So that's probably like volume per milliamp hour. So I don't know how all that works yet.
Okay.
I'm focused on milligauss.
Okay.
You got this.
All right.
But again, nice slow movements. I mean, you're perfect right now. They're getting a belly shot of me, and I'm promoting my shirts, which is awesome. So again, it's one of those
Do you
pieces.
think we didn't ask nice enough?
I felt like we were
If we
nice.
got 3, I thought
Maybe
we
go
were
after the
nice.
mansion. See what happened here.
Okay.
Maybe you can get an answer from that.
Okay. Go like to this corner area. Stop. I said you gotta be serious, because then if you're not serious, then she's gonna be mad. I don't even know what to ask. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Liza, what happened here?
Eliza, what were the names of your children? Robin? Eliza, what color was your mansion? Eliza, what color was the mansion?
What happened here, Eliza?
Mm-hmm. Eliza, what color was the mansion?
Alright, any more answers coming out of you guys? So, there's not a whole lot going on. Any numbers showing up for you?
No.
Either way? Okay.
This is on the newest setting that you did.
Okay. And you could switch it back. Like, again,
Okay.
you're in charge. So, I'm just here to take whatever the readings are that you went back and forth with. So, I'm just going to do one more quick round robin because Amy wants to try something a little bit different, a little bit different set of questions. So,
Okay.
I'm kind of giving her a moment, and then I'll rein us all back into where we started. I may even pull this back here next to the dumpster. It's not too stinky back here tonight. It's not a hot July evening.
Yes.
So,
Yep, family again.
Wait, are we supposed to do ones that are lyrics?
What?
If it's just a single word is what we're listening for?
I think so. I mean, like, if the lyric pops up, I kind of feel like it's like, if it fits, you know?
Okay.
Because then he can go back. Well, mine's not recorded, but he can at least kind of go back through and, like, debunk, like, what he feels.
Okay. She's still a bit yelling out words.
What?
She's still yelling out words.
I know. I'm like, see, that's why I wanted you to hear this, because, like, you can't yell out every word this person is saying.
Eliza probably thinks, I think I poked the bear. That's my laissez-faire attitude.
What?
He said she's like kind of proper, and I think my attitude is...
Yeah. She didn't like your attitude.
I didn't add to adjustment.
We're sorry, Eliza.
Yeah, Eliza, I'm really sorry. I just want to know what happened here.
Eliza, what were the names of your kids?
What's interesting about this space, just so you guys know, for those of you with cameras, if you want to give your hands a break, by all means, other than our legs. So just kind of hold it exactly as you were, nice and still. Again, perfect. And belly shot on him, perfect. Alright, so where the hell are we? We're in Philadelphia Alley. We all tell the same story down here. You're going to hear it a little bit different from me because they're doing campfire marshmallow time. You guys are ghost hunting. So, I say that out loud. I'll say nearby ideas. But this place used to be called Dueler's Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. We're definitely going to be doing the Estes method later, just so you guys know. So, the story we tell down here is of the same person. We can prove the duel actually occurred. So here's how it goes.
Jeremiah again.
Jeremiah. I don't know who the hell Jeremiah is. He needs to go. So, there's a doctor that moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. If you hear a brown-eyed girl down here, it is... Did you just hear a whistle?
Hmm?
Or do you know the story?
No.
Dr. Ladd is known as the whistling doctor. It's the reason why I'm like, what did you just hear?
Oh, yeah, no. I think I know the story.
Oh, you do know the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. No.
Okay.
Nothing that trippy.
No. It's kind of like, wait a minute.
He was just like moving me all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's just whistling around town. But at any rate, so more Spanish. He moves down here from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda.
Teacher and Jesus.
Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She's an attorney, helping her out with all of this cash flow, and he thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda, I think that was for the other group.
Okay.
He says stay away. So he tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. Dr. Ladd moves to Charleston to prove that he's not. If a group's coming through, we're just going to split the seas and let them do it.
Does the C part?
Yep, we got it. How are you?
Fantastic. Something else that happened.
What did you tell me about yours? No. Watch out for those orbs.
What's funny is we do get a lot of orbs down here. So that's why I say nice slow motions out of yours. He's going to stop.
I hear Mom.
So where was I? Dr. Ladd moves down here, right? So as he's coming into town, the coachman that brought him in set him up to be robbed and killed. So it wasn't a good start to his stay in Charleston. So we're going to let them cut through too.
Energy.
Sorry, I thought they were going to stop. Hi, how are you?
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
How
Saw
you
the
guys
light.
doing? I know.
Treasures.
No, this is actually perfect. Let's move down towards this gate a little bit. This is where I normally stop, but everybody was in my way.
Right.
So it just kind of gives us, gives another tour an opportunity to stop up there or whatever. So, lost my train of thought again. Oh, so he was about to get killed, right? So somebody was walking by. His name was Ralph Isaacs. I stop on Ralph because Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Ralph Isaacs, Rhode Island, which is exactly why we have the Ouija board. I bought that device for this location because we were getting the initials on the spirit boxes, which is super uncanny for a DJ just to say the letters R.I. Again, need a secondary clue so we know who it belongs to. Anyway, back to Ralph.
Headquarters.
He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy, he's going to try to kill you. I know some friends at 59 Church Street. You can stay there and rent a room. You'll be safe and good to go. Dr. Ladd took him up on the offer. Him and Ralph became friends. So, the longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. Amanda gets wind of this.
Christ.
We're next to the church, just so you guys know. We're going to start getting
God
religious
earlier
terms.
when we walked out.
Common, very common down here.
Oh my God.
That was on cue. But anyway, he's making more money. Amanda gets wind she's going to come down. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor because he's a pretty happy guy. This is the 1780s. Men whistle back then. I would tell you that every ghost tour tells you, like when you're down here, listen for the whistles. You don't have to because we're recording everything with my voice recorder. We're going to talk more about the evidence of this later. By the way, every haunted city you're ever going to visit has a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one, just so you guys know. There's actually proof of this one, and you're looking at me like I want to hear it. But anyway, she's got that serious look on her face. But back to Dr. Ladd. Ralph and Dr. Ladd go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's just the hierarchy of Charleston. They talk about the plays on the way home. They go see Richard III one night from Shakespeare. They're arguing over the new actress on the way home. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph, not so much. So, the argument gets really heated, and Ralph starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island, and they go their separate ways. He already figured out that Ralph has friends here because he knew the people from the coach at 59 Church Street. But anyway, he goes to his friends at the newspaper, and he puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society, sir, kind of mentality. The doctor saw the ad, rebutted with, let's go to Jeweler's Alley. We're going to settle this shit. Somebody's going to die. So they calmed down, they took 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air, and he shot. He didn't want to kill his friend, he just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight. So, Ralph has his one shot. Where does he put it? In the kneecap, on the doctor. So, we do get some song lyrics with the word knee in it, just so you guys know. But anyway, the doctor fell to the ground and didn't die. His friends picked him up, carried him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786. He refused medical treatment. Why? 1786.
I heard 86 like 2 or 3 times on my walk over here.
Okay, I'll have to write that one down along with the word shot. So, but he's a doctor. And bullet wounds weren't like what we think of a bullet wound now. It was probably lead poisoning. He probably tried to bleed it out himself. So kind of keep that in mind. Now again, every tour is going to tell you to listen for the whistles. If you're going to do this on your own and go all the way through here, I can't take you all the way through because I've been kicked out. I'll tell you why here in a minute. That's the fun part of this story, because I've been booted out of here. We're going to let these folks pass through. Come on through, guys. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Perfect weather.
Good, yes.
Enjoy.
So, they would tell you to listen for the whistles. But again, use your voice recorders as you're walking through here. But keep in mind, every local knows this story. So anybody's going to walk up and down Cumberland or Queen Street, throws a whistle down the alley. We all do it. I do it every night. So my garage, we passed it on our way here, which means I have to pass the alley. If my daughter's on the tour, we race to see who's going to throw the whistle first. It's just something we do, especially since we got booted out of here. Here's how that happened. Quick backdrop on the history of the alley a little bit further back, the Four Doors Alley. Oh, you're good, you're good.
I do that, sure.
So, this alley used to be cut off on this end, about halfway between where we are and Cumberland Street. This is because this is where they kept the livestock for the alley. It used to be called Cow Alley. So, those bricks on that side are older. Yeah, they're starting to come out a little bit. They're going to start looking like cats here shortly. But those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint in one of those bricks from a slave child at the end. And I used to take my groups all the way through to show them the handprint. However, I treat that handprint the same way I do a grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid, is staring at the handprint of his handiwork, right? So, November 26th, 2020, my entire group of 10 is huddled around one brick waiting for something to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because it's not going to happen, and it's outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. So, the new neighbor came out screaming, "I'm out of bounds." Didn't know it. I was still new at doing tours. So my daughter thought it was great because Dad's getting yelled at. And we moved on. November 27th was the next day. That's Thanksgiving. I don't work Thanksgiving. I worked in retail management for over 20 years, mainly for Walmart. You guys can understand why I don't work Thanksgiving. So the next day, I got a phone call from my partner, said you need to either go down halfway, which is where we're allowed to go, or reroute the group. So I decided I'm going to reroute the group because it's not fair for my 10 to try to investigate around 20 to 60, which you guys have seen tonight. So I told my group I don't believe in the next story because I've never had any evidence come out of it, and I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. However, before we left the space, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. What I didn't tell that group was who we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny. So I was like, shit. We get down there and somebody heard the number 300 after I told a little bit I did know about piracy, and I didn't know what 300 meant in real time. I'm doing the research for him the next day. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So I went, damn it, put away the vampire books and start buying pirate books. Half my library is pirates right now. So everything we're going to be discussing at the next stop came from a minimum of 2 resources. Remember, pirates' stories are pirate lore. Nothing ever matches. So I look for things that actually match so I can relate as much factual data back to you as possible. I will also tell you the next space is a hit or miss. Anne is said to be seen all over town. I will tell you why once we get there, why we see her at that specific location. So
That rat is the size of a squirrel.
yeah.
It's such a rat, but it's coming down the lamp.
Oh,
And you missed them on the thermal. You guys could have had that as a preview.
I'm trying.
Did you? I did. Rats,
So-
actually.
Last
Oh.
point before we leave the space, the
2.
gate, which is part of the reason why I like to come down to this specific location. Keep in mind the alley didn't always go all the way through that way. In the event there was a loser to a duel, dead guy, this was the shortcut to get over to the cemetery.
Swear to God, I
Otherwise,
did
they'd have to go
not
all the way
clean
down
that
the Queen Street and wrap around with dead weight, and that would kind of stall them from going to celebrate the winner with a pint. So kind of keep that in mind. That's why this archway is here. The wrought iron was probably put here in the early 1900s, but the archway was always there. So, those of you with things that Amy heard along the way, oh, we got the rat on video. Nice. So, then we have skeleton. But at any rate, keep your videos rolling. Again, we're going to another very popular corner. I have kind of a hidden space where we can all go to talk about the history, and then we'll be able to spread out. But keep in mind, we're going to get bleed over from here over there. So again, we do have shot in '86, which is super awesome. I'm going to be looking to see on the recording if there's actual parts of the
Move to
undertake.
the right.
We're actually going to be going to your right, my left, which is very interesting. we're going to kind of see what goes on. Cameras, again, if you want to keep them, just keep them belly shotted like what we've been talking about the whole night long. We'll kind of see what goes on. So you may want to refresh it once we get there, so it's a quick stop, and then start them back up again. Any crazy letters show up here? No RIs?
No.
Any EMF show up here?
No, nothing above 2.5, but it's interesting because back in the parking lot we were at like 0.2, 0.3, and this has been 1.6 consistently.
The reason why is we have lamp posts around us.
Okay.
Normally the base on the device that's broken is about a 5.
Okay.
So again, it's a little sensitive compared to that,
Yeah.
But not as sensitive as the one that
Okay.
has. So, all right. Let's. What was the last 2 words that you have on yours?
Determine and gate.
There's our gate. Beautiful. Love it. So we'll see if anything else pops up with that. If we get the word loser somewhere, I'm going to be super stoked. Let's go learn about pirates.
Ill intent.
Pause it.
Yeah, I would pause it.
Found has been in this space. And an intelligent, bigger than my head, moving towards me, shifted and then moved up. Dissipated in frame. Beautiful.
What was the relevance of statue?
Oh, perfect. So, statue is actually relevant to where we're standing right now. Like literally, on the other side of this wall is your 7th Vice President, John Calhoun. We actually had a statue taken down of him in Marion Square back in 2020 with the Black Lives Matter movement. So again, when you hear statue, and then recently, to me, it's still recently, especially considering, I mean, Diane died in 1850. What's that?
Is that on my camera? Is that somebody over there?
You're picking up the poles and the trees over there. It's okay. That's why we have it.
Yeah.
So I want you to question every little detail about your devices. That's the good thing about it. What is that? So know what it is. Debunk it. Look at it. So it's in real frame. So have you heard anything along the way?
I did. Like as soon as we came through here, stop 3 and then go.
Stop, 3, go.
But I had a question though.
Yes.
So is this one the same as the other one where it? Because a lot of times I am picking up like music and radio stations.
It's the exact same thing, but it is a slower setting.
That's what I was thinking. So that's why I think some of it. I'm not even sure if it's.
And again, you're not always looking for that disembodied voice. It's just whatever you hear. Because what I have found with disembodied voices in real time, they normally come out of that ear. So it is using a little bit of static, and you'll hear a voice over top of the static, and it doesn't sound like a DJ saying the next song, but it's going to have that jovial voice. It's going to be a direct message. But radio station stuff is good too. So again, it's that 50-50 shot, but you also have when the disembodied shows up, that's what makes it up to that 75%. I would tell you that the second night we ever used that in this space, I'm packing things up because this used to be my last stop. So I took the device from them and we had a really light night, like not a whole lot was going on. And as they're handing it to me, pirate with static in the background. Keep in mind that device does not record, but they were standing next to the person with the thermal imaging camera and we had it on there and we all heard it in real time. Like it was a holy shit moment. Everybody's jaw just dropped because it was clear as a bell. It wasn't like the Pirates just won the game, like part of the sentence. It was pirate. Like, and that was the end of it. Like very clear. So very cool stuff. But anyway. 2 ladies went to the restroom, but we're going to continue moving on. So
She's probably reeling off random words in there. She's pretty
sure
locked in.
I heard the number 2.
Yeah.
And she's going to get those jokes on the audio later on, just so you guys know. But at any rate, so with this space, we are going to be discussing that little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. That's part of the reason why we're here. That's a familiar building. You guys all watch the TV shows. So TV shows, we use a teddy bear to try to attract a child ghost, right? It has a REM pod or motion sensor built into it. This is the same type of principle. This is something that Anne Bonny would recognize because it was being built at the same time that she came here to start her new life. So, but first off, those are not crosses. Those are earthquake bolts. For all of you northerners that don't know what the hell an earthquake bolt is, it's basically a turnbuckle. In the event we have another earthquake like what we talked about at the top of the tour, you can turn the turnbuckles and it's supposed to tighten the building back up so that way it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. So the only reason I bring these up is because that's the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina, which is exactly why we're here. Something familiar to Anne Bonny. So this building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government small building, 10 years? No, not at all. I'll answer for you. But our story begins right in the middle of it. Try to follow me. Let's group in a little bit tighter, just so that the other tourists, because they're discussing way other things other than pirates over here. But at any rate, so there's a lot of twists. I will slow down on the twist so you guys all grab them.
We saw a pirate in the bar, just FYI.
Awesome. Was it Anne Bonny? Did you bring her along? So she can
It was a
answer questions for us?
bachelorette
Oh, God.
And when I was going to the bathroom, I heard, "Who are you?"
We were all guessing that you were just routing off words as you were using the
I
restroom.
did. I was.
Well, I made the
Who
joke
are
that
you and where are you? That's
well,
what
I had the joke that you probably heard the number 2. So you're going to hear that on your audio
I
later
did
on. So 1708, right in the middle of the building's construction, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Are you guys all with me so far? Yes. The 3 of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was she that they had to leave Ireland by boat in 1708 to come here to South Carolina? They land in Georgetown. It's just north of us, between us and Myrtle Beach. So Dad bought a plantation. Mom died pretty quickly. So that means he's sending young Anne from Georgetown down here to sell anything from the plantation to help keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. Again, she said to be seen all over town, but this is part of where tourists are allowed to go. So that's why we're here. And I've caught really good evidence on top of that. Let's take a step backwards back to Ireland. Anne was said to be kind of a badass even from a young age. They say she killed one of her servants with a knife to the belly when Anne was only 7, 8, 9 years old. Remember, this is pirate lore. No exact numbers here. So, fast forward, building's done in 1713. Pirates are coming through Charleston in 1715. Anne is about 16, 17 years old at this time, and she's going to fall in love because she wants to earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world at this point. So, first guy she falls in love with. Yes, I said first. I say that yawn. First, because there's a handful, and we're going to go through every single one of them. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, right? Dad didn't like him. He's a filthy pirate. They go to Jamaica, elope, and get married. Anne Cormac is now Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. However, James Bonny, her new husband, is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a spy for the British. He's a coward. This is not who she wants. A few years later, she falls in love again. This is John Rackham, a.k.a. Calico Jack. Calico Jack is the person that they based your Johnny Depp character off of.
It's heard Irish.
Just so you know who this person actually is. I'll write down Irish, that's a good one. If you get the exact city of where she came from, I'll probably be a little bit more impressed. But Irish is still good. Anyway, Calico Jack has his own ship and wants to be part of that crew. You can't put a girl on a pirate crew. Does anybody know why?
Bad luck.
Thank you for keeping it family friendly. I get a lot of bad answers to that. So it is bad luck, but he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of it.
Yeah.
You're going to be a female in like quarters. So she's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to keep her away from his wife. So she gets it. But let's put 2 and 2 together. She was a female in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and then they're going to get Jack off the ship. Before she starts
Birch mean anything?
What is it?
Birch?
I don't know, but that's pretty cool that you have a full word spelled out.
Full word, birch.
Anyway, nice.
Okay.
Before she starts to show that she's pregnant, Jack drops her off in Cuba. So I'll have the baby. These are friends of mine. Come back later. We'll figure it out. She goes and has the baby, but returns without a child. We have no idea what happens to the baby. Irony of this part of the story, she comes back dressed as a female. Everybody now on the ship is going to know that Jack led his girlfriend on the ship. So that's going to make Jack pretty mad. And he captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. Anne's going to go flirting because that's who Anne is. We're on guy number 3, in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. So, this young lady's name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. 2 females trying to be pirates. So, her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know for sure, but the British found out where they are. They sent a whole fleet of ships to take down Jack's pirate ship. Anne and Mary, the rumor is that they were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with 1 bullet flintlocks. Obviously, 2 ladies with 1 bullet flintlocks are not going to be able to take on a whole fleet of ships. They get arrested. And as they're being arrested, she looks at her captain, her beau, Calico Jack, and she says, "Sorry to see you here, but you should have fought like a man instead of being hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up here a lot, just so you know. The judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men by themselves after he's tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates that wouldn't fight. They're dead and gone, including Jack. The 2 ladies go in front, reveal their gender. He doesn't give a shit that they're female.
It's a creation.
He's still going to hang them because they're pirates. So, "We plead our bellies" was the last thing they screamed out to this judge because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. Sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne, brings her back home, she remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4. We're going to count Mary because we don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Yes, very abrupt.
84? Pretty old for that.
Exactly. So, we don't know much about her. I mean, even that's speculated at this point. Mary
Paranoid.
Reed died a year later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail. Use your imagination. Most books would tell you that it was something simple like fever. I say let's make it romantic. It's probably scurvy. Nice and bumpy and gross for you. As far as the questions go, you guys all know what you're doing at this point with spirit boxes. I left out 2 things on purpose so you have something to work with. I left out the name of Anne's parents. That's the father and the mistress. I also left out the name of Calico Jack's ship on purpose. The interesting thing, I don't know what this birch thing is, but it might actually be tied to Calhoun in some way, shape, or form. I don't know yet. I'm going to definitely dive in. And then you had a very cool term too. What was it? Oh, you had Irish. So we have Irish and birch came out of the envoy so far. So very cool stuff. I do not expect EMF out of this location. The closer you get that way, parking meters on the other side of the bushes, 2 electrical poles in the corners. Don't get excited. So again, just kind of keep that in mind. When we have the motion sensor here, Anne Bonnie will actually show us her hair color because it is in color format, and we have gotten it on direct command, but that's part of the device that's actually broken that we're not using tonight. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that. This is also one of the spaces where we caught like a figure, like standing almost exactly where we are right now from last night's tour, just so you know. If you can't recreate it, it confirms last night's. Wow, what the hell is that? There's a lot going on over there. Are we just checking doors or what? But yeah, we're going to spread out in this location. Keep in mind of other tours coming in. So let's have some fun. I'll be bouncing around with everybody like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion. Definitely get that thing up loud and proud. And
So much Spanish.
well, we're talking pirates at this point. Motion of the ocean. So,
Tristan, is that significant?
no, not to me in any way.
Did you
I'm
say
definitely
expect or something, or expected when he was talking about the baby?
Unexpected.
Or unexpected?
Imagine, spokesman, disease,
Disease is good with Mary.
guilt,
Vague.
men, modern.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's spread out. Let's do this. Get out of there. First, we got Anthony, your camera loves to act like
What's Jack's ship's name?
Good.
See, you say Pearl, did he? I was like, that's no way. Go over there and say Pearl. I think I'm making
James.
James. Okay. What was the other thing you said?
So the name of the ship and then Anne's parents' names.
Okay.
So her dad and the mistress.
Okay. Well, I said James.
Go up a little bit.
Are we talking to her? Are we talking to her?
I think we're just kind of like, he didn't say like specifically that we could ask questions, but we probably maybe could.
I'm supposed to try to keep someone in the frame. It's got something going on.
Behind you.
So, in essence, can you see the dots from her camera through your camera? Let's put it right on me. How about that? Can you see like a dotted pattern on me in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, wait, I think so.
So that's the technology from the iPad. You
Okay.
can see it through there.
Yeah, do you see that?
A little bit on
Yeah,
the sweatshirt?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like towards
Oh,
his
yeah, now
belly
I
and
see it
stuff.
on the pants, yeah.
Yeah.
So she probably has me as a purple figure at this point because the
But it
lidar
looks
is
like
picking
that.
my
Oh.
perception based on the depth of where I am to the wall.
Cool.
So that's how that all works. The cool thing is we can visually see it through your camera. We can't see it through here unless
Whoa.
it shows up through a stick man.
Yeah.
That's how the technology works.
All right.
How's your word list coming?
Love yourself. Truth. Terms powerful, hidden, review, censures, corn, built,
Corn is interesting.
Tristan, men, modern.
Yeah, we have one.
James.
Or James.
Mm-hmm.
James Bond, his first husband.
Oh,
Really?
See? That's why you guys keep me around.
yeah. Yeah, we heard good and then we heard James.
Good James. But he wasn't good. She didn't really care for him that much. Good James.
Huh.
Yeah, your word list tonight is, I hate to say it's kind of shit. And again, we've had nights where I've maybe gotten one term out of it, and it's great. Other nights, I get like 20.
Okay, James.
Sticking
What's
for
the
you,
name of the
James.
ship?
I know. I was hoping good would.
The good ship.
Go over here. Refugee.
You know, that was so songy.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't
he
matter.
even said like
Okay.
you can put the clues together
Okay.
rather than just hearing the words. It's kind of ironic. Yeah, live like a refugee.
It's probably pretty accurate.
Could be coincidence.
Well, I stopped it. I thought since I was being a goofball, he was gonna give me something like fun and just stop.
Too funny.
Are you messing with that thing at all?
This? No, he said we probably won't pick too much up in this parking lot.
Oh. That's so weird. Like, how would you not? Like, or how do you know? You know?
Yeah.
Is that because nothing's here?
Maybe. And you're gonna probably pick up the lamps and the parking meters.
Mm.
How long was this one?
Yes, huh?
4.
Oh, wow. But it's almost 11.
I know.
Oh. don't feel like we're almost done either. But I thought it was only 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care at this point.
No, I'm having fun. Like,
Yeah, me too. I feel like the nightlife is coming alive.
hmm?
I feel like the nightlife is coming alive.
Mm-hmm. Matt O'Neill. I feel like I'm not able to pick up as much as I did as the last parking lot.
I feel like this is a good spot over here.
Unholy is on again. I think he's gonna round us back up.
It's a badass hunting squad we got going on.
William Hastings.
Okay.
William.
Refugee and
William.
Hastings.
Probably doesn't matter because I imagine the last name is what her last name was originally.
So that way we can actually see what's going on. And I'll tell you why I'm curious about it. We're going to head over to that wall over there. That way I can set the bag down and give you guys the answers. Anybody hear anything? See anything?
We heard the name William, and then we ironically heard Refugee by Tom Petty.
No Hastings.
That was not a first name.
So, what about Hastings?
Hastings?
Yeah.
The name was William Hastings.
I don't know who Hastings is, but we're next to a cemetery. I'll just look at the records and see if there's any relevance. Here's,
Overwhelming thoughts and frustration.
I like frustration. I don't know why that's standing out to me. So, I'm excited about a couple of things.
I'll repeat it.
I'll repeat it. Why don't you give us your mother's name? You gave us a father's name. I'm excited about James and I'm excited about William. So let me further explain. I guess first thing, I'm excited to get to the next stop so we can actually, Lisa and Amy are not going to be listening to the history of that space. The cool thing about that space is I don't know everything. It's not a big, long story like what I've been telling you all night long with every new space. So I'm going to tell you the little bit I do know, and then hopefully, I'm going to keep them separated, and then we're going to get her a blindfold and a set of headphones.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah. Yep. So you've been spouting things off, and I don't want you to know the history and be influenced by what you're hearing. We'll probably speed up your spirit box a little bit, so you're not getting as much. You're going to get a lot more static. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm actually running a spirit box boot camp on Wednesdays. So this will be the first time I brought the Estes method to the tour. So you're going to be my test model.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, okay. Sure, whatever. Let's blindfold her. Let's see what happens. But at any rate, I'll be very curious to see how this works out. Because again, I don't know a lot about that particular space, but we're going to see what she actually comes up with. The cool thing is, what I normally tell my groups is, because I've only been going there for 3 months.
Oh, you.
Is that what you heard? You guys are going to be teaching me things about that space, because again, I'm not Google for that location. Now granted, I know a shit ton about pirates because I've read a lot of books about pirates. I can probably go on a whole night of just pirates, but again, I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate.
I think I found.
Let's go over the answers. So, you're going to see why I'm excited about the two names that I gave you, which are James and William. Obviously, James is easy because that's the first husband. And Bonnie, one of the few pictures you can find of this woman with a shirt on. The reason why is because she used to bare her breast to show men that they were just killed by a woman.
Nice.
I told you, she was kind of badass, right?
Oh.
And I get a lot of teenage boys on this tour, and I don't need angry moms leaving. So again, one of the few pictures you can find of her. The name of her parents, William Cormac, Mary Brennan. This was not another subliminary trick where I, gave you the name Mary Reed in the middle of the story, waiting for Mary Brennan to come through. It just so happens they both have the same name. The irony about this is you only heard the name William. Normally, the same person will hear William and Mary in one phrase, and that's usually how it works out. It's uncanny how much that actually works out. So you only heard William, so I'm going to be searching for Mary on the recording. Calico Jack. Everybody wants to see what they based Johnny Depp off of. You're going to laugh your ass off. You guys ready for this? So, Calico Jack was named that because of the jackets that he wore. His father was a tailor, so textiles were very important to him and his family. These jackets that Calico Jack wore came from British captains that he killed. Ron can really have a better view. Actually said to be a Civil War soldier that walks around in here. I've never caught anything, but again, that's why I tell you guys if you want to get a little.
Got a therapist going on here.
Time
continues.
I can't wait for you to do this. I'm choosing you because you're
drunk. I heard backpacker.
We're gonna speed that thing up and we're gonna see what you get at.
Well, you're right. It is. It's up to you to kind of pull out the bars.
He said there's rumored to be a Civil War veteran that walks around here.
Well, she got something on the doorway, and it's like next to the lamppost, so it wasn't the lamppost, so she took it so that way he can see it.
Is that what she's doing? You know what she's doing?
Yeah, she was getting it like on the doorway. It was pulling up.
Did you see it yet?
No, he's way up there.
Oh, okay. Nick, get that. Oh yeah, he's not stopping. I forgot. Very respectful.
I just can't believe we actually picked up William. Like, that's actually kind of like impressive. Be careful because there's people in here.
Okay.
What?
What are you gonna do? Check my camera?
Oh, good thing we did.
Yeah, they're trying to, so they can't knock it down because we have what you call the 75-year rule here. So anything that's over 75 years old, you have to they're disposable. So break in the center for it just to go around your ears.
Okay.
So again, unwrap that.
So it's like an
Right, exactly. Again, buy them in bulk. So yeah, you two are going to stay over here.
Okay.
While I explain the history to them, I don't want you two knowing anything.
Okay.
But I'm the only one wearing the blindfold?
Am I supposed to be doing this stuff?
So we're going to experiment to see if anything else comes up with the rest of the equipment. But I do want to leave this. I just don't want to leave for myself over here.
Yeah. No, I'll go. I'll just,
So, yeah. This way you two don't know what's going on.
It's her guard.
And when we come back over, you're going to throw the blindfold on. We're going to speed up the
Bouncer.
spirit box, and we're going to see what happens. So let me go give them the history.
Anybody else?
Follow me. Let's go over here.
As soon as he said I'm going to live over her by myself, I heard guard.
Anyone near her there?
No lip reading.
Alright, so I should have 6 of you. Cool. Alright, come on, let's group in because again, this place can get a little crazy. I will tell you we're going to be dealing with a very shy, introverted writer. It's going to take us a few minutes to actually get him to warm up to us. So what's going to happen is after I give you a very brief history here, we're going to go back and visit Amy and Lisa. She's going to be blindfolded. I'm going to give her some noise canceling headphones so she can't hear what we're asking. Lisa's going to be kind of in the dark. You guys are going to be the ones in awe, hopefully. I'm also going to speed up her spirit box. She has the one that's recording. So at the end of your recording, it's going to sound super, super fast. And it's going to hopefully be nothing but white noise.
Uh-oh.
I mean, we're in a neighborhood. It's just part of the park neighborhood. But the first time I came here, I had no idea what the hell we were going to find. What I did find is I only had a couple with me. There was only 2 people on the tour. Somebody else canceled. So I said, let's go experiment with a new space. Look around, guys. There's a lot of monuments in here. I didn't know what we were going to discover. What we did here was the year 1828, loud as a bell, the name Henry, and the name Tim. This is Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So I was like, all right, we have something. Did a little bit of research. I knew the story before, but I wanted to get a little bit more just to give you enough so you can teach me more. Basic gist of the story. The man was sick through most of his life. He's obviously during the age of the Civil War, so he's going to go fight for the Confederacy. Once he gets to the battlefield, his comrades realize he's too sick to fight. So they send him home and say, go be the voice of the war. They knew he was a poet. He came home, started writing about the war, what was going on. He became known as the laureate of the Confederacy. So he has a son a few years later. Hopefully we're going to find out what the name of that son is. I'll actually tell you because she's going to be the one that's going to be giving us the answer. His son's name is Willie. He was born on Christmas Eve and only lived for 9 months. Those are the 3 questions I normally give you without the answer. So obviously he dies. 2 years after that, Henry's still sick and he's mourning his son still. His college buddy calls him up and says, I got a place out in Columbia where you can actually come out here and you can, work on the piece you're supposed to be working on for the paper, and you can just have some peace and give the wife a rest. The wife's name is Katie, by the way, so if the name Katie shows up out of her, that'll be super cool too. So all of that said, he goes out to this cottage. That's where he writes his last words. Beholder of brief mortality, meaning translates to person of short life. Then he coughs, and it lands on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. The blood stain looks like a man writing. Now, this is actually shown one day a year at the Charleston Library Society. It's called the Blood Book. They only show it on Halloween, and you have to be a member of the society in order to be able to see the book. However, the internet is beautiful. I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like so you can actually get a gist of it. After I do that, we're going to go and visit with Lisa and Amy, get her noise-canceling headphones, and we're going to have some fun with this. I definitely want you guys all keeping track. You're probably going to be muted so you can, because that way we can all hear what's going on, but I definitely want you to continue to listen. So let me show you the blood book, and then we're going to go have fun with this Estes method. Flashing. Somebody take a picture? Yeah, I got wiener dogs. They all get it.
You almost ran right into me.
So here is the blood book. So you can all see that the blood stain looks just like a man writing over his desk.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
They normally tell this story on other ghost tours at the Charleston Library Society because he's also said to be seen there. I just find it very interesting. I keep getting clues to him here. I will also tell you that the reason why we have this stickman camera is because of this space. Somebody brought the big one on my tour one night, and we had a full 8-minute interaction next to the bust of Henry Timrod. And when I say interaction, Henry, can I read some of your poetry to my group? Raise your right hand. It went up. and
Get
came back
out
down.
of here. I just got chills.
So this is the other space where we actually found somebody leaning against that tree like they were reading a book. That footage you can see tomorrow because that tour was last night. So again, very interesting. But I do want you kind of filming a little bit. EMF spikes go all the way up to 161 in here. That's the highest reading we've had. We've also seen it go up to about 157. That happens in different grassy knolls. So again, it never stays in the same spot. If you want to wander while we're doing the Estes method, by all means do so. But we are going to do the Estes method for a minimum of 5 minutes. I don't want to give her some disorientation. This is going to be hard for her to do, just so you know what's going on. So again, we're going to get rid of her senses, and she's just going to shout out whatever she hears while we ask questions. Does that make sense? I'll probably be the one leading the questions.
That's cool.
All right, let's go have some fun and definitely get this thing on film. All right. Did we boot that? And this is still a test. So again, crack that thing open. I want to see if these noise canceling headphones are going to work out for you. So that way you can't hear what we're asking at all, and you won't be able to read our lips, which is the purpose of the blindfold. So I do want to definitely group us in. I don't want other tour groups to get the gist of what we're doing out here and steal my ideas. So again, we're already jealous because of the crazy equipment that you guys are using, so kind of take that for what it's worth. These might be a little tight because they've never been used before. It's right in the middle. So you got to break it in the middle first with perforation, and then there's little holes to go around your ears. Again, it's not super strong or anything. It's just enough for us to do this as a disposable unit. Yeah, you got to rip that centerpiece so it'll go around your ears. There you go. Can I see your spirit box so I can speed it up?
Yeah.
While you're doing that? Perfect.
You
don't need the
I
mask.
found my
Take her
glasses
glasses
anywhere.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Alright. Reach out your hand, I'll put the earbuds in there.
Okay.
Pop those in your ears. And then you're gonna put noise canceling headphones. You might want to help her.
And am I just gonna like say out loud what I'm hearing?
I want you to also realize that you don't need to shout. We can hear you. So that's actually
I'm a bit of a loud talker anyway, so.
Alright. It's okay. I'm gonna set the spirit box next to you.
Am I ready?
Yep, put them on.
Look. His eyes.
You gotta be tight. Alright, she cannot hear us. So I'm gonna go straight after whoever's here. I want you to tell me what your name is. We can hear you. And the person with the blindfold and little things over their ears are going to be what's translating for you. She can hear you directly.
R.A.
Tell us what your name is. I know you're a little shy. It can take a few minutes for you to come out. Maybe you want to tell us how old you were when you passed away.
It has everything.
What has everything? Tell us what your name is. Which word did you get on that? She can't. She's blind. So keep in mind, she has nothing but white noise in her ears right now. I sped it up as fast as it would go on purpose. So there's no radio chatter coming through. Tell us what your name is, whoever's here. I know what your name is, but we want to prove that you're here with us. Any readings coming out of your EMF, I want to know. Just
Crucial.
Maybe you want to tell us about what happened to your son. Maybe how old he was, his name, what his birthday was. I know you talked a lot about his birthday.
coming up. Charleston.
We know you're from Charleston, and that's pretty common to hear on what we have on there. So give us something a little bit more.
My girlfriend.
Oh. Did you marry your girlfriend? What was her name? I want to say girlfriend showed up here last night. That was a weird phrase for her to say. Anything else? I might have already said it. Marcy, you hearing anything? Nothing.
Quickly.
Quickly.
More shuffle than normal, which is kind of weird.
So let's sped up on its own.
Yeah.
More.
Henry, I'm just gonna.
Hey, you.
I'm gonna call out your name. Why don't you tell us about you? Tell us anything you want us to know. I've been reading some of your work, as you know. I've been telling you pretty much every single night. Tell us something you want us to learn about.
Weakest.
What war did you serve in?
You messed up.
I messed up. How did I mess up?
What? Spirit. Family.
We want to know about your family. Tell us their names.
$200.
Henry, tell us something more specific.
Service.
I know you were in the service. Can you guys all see how fast these numbers are moving on this spirit box?
Don't wait.
This thing's going off. Are you sure you're not getting any readings?
It's at 0.0.
0.0. Like an absolute flat
Yep,
line.
flat 0.
Wow. Henry, come on, give us something. I know you're pretty shy and introverted. I know I brought a lot of folks tonight. We're trying to learn more about you, specifically. We know you have a sad story. Normally when this place is flooded, it's minimal activity. Just so you know. Like, again, the guy's pretty shy. I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that it's empty right now. Henry, come on. What do you got? Wife's name, child's name, your birthday.
Radical.
I got everyone's looking.
We are looking for you, Henry.
Hmm.
Well, not everyone. Somebody's blindfolded.
I'll just keep on walking.
We want to see you. We want to hear from you. You can talk to us. Tell us about yourself. You're kind of shy and introverted. So we're tapping you out.
Okay.
Because at this point, whenever you're under, that sensory deprivation for so long, like you're probably, your vision's got to get used to things, but it messes with your head. The first time I ever did this personally, I was investigating the St. Augustine Lighthouse, and I was under for almost 15 minutes. That's a long time to listen to white noise. And it was full interaction with the entire groups that we had there. We had probably about 40 people there because it was like 3 different podcasts that were hosting the event for the Lighthouse, and I was part of it. But I went under to kind of show them because I listened to these spirit boxes on a daily basis. So I feel like we had anything specific? Not necessarily. Like, I'm not super impressed with the answers that we got. The cool thing is that you guys are going to get the recording to see what she was hearing, not to mention the audio piece of anything that might actually come up. So you can use whatever she's hearing because she doesn't know what we're asking. She has no idea what we're talking about. That's the fun part. You can use that, like she heard radical. Well, what's radical? Tell us more about that. What's 200? Are we coming up on a 200th anniversary of something? You can use whatever she's telling you to kind of entice things a little bit further. that's the fun part about learning things. I'm still going to research the term that you gave me to see if anything's relative. The 200 stood out to me just because of the time span. But again, it's one of those pieces, I don't know how relevant it's actually going to be because again, he was born in 1828. We're not close to that year yet on a 200-year anniversary. We're still 5 years away. So to me, that's not close enough for me to be like, oh, we have something really cool. It might be something else. It might be his wife was, born exactly 200 years ago, whatever it is. So I'm going to look into some of the things that actually came about. At this point, I definitely want to try to see if we can get some EMF out of this space. Like, I don't want to say we're done here, but I say let's kind of do a quick lap. Everybody kind of spread out. This is our last stop. So do you want to keep going with that? Like, slow it down and do what you were doing before? Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'll slow it down. So that way the last, 5-10 minutes for you guys on your recording will be back to normal speed of what you guys normally heard. So there you go.
Let's
back
go
to normal
over by
speed.
statue.
I'll take these back, but that blindfold is supposed to.
Maybe he's soaking over here.
What?
Maybe he's soaking
Yeah,
over here.
maybe. I know, I'm getting a lot more static than I was, like, in the first place. Like, I'm not getting nearly as many words popping out.
Hey, buddy, it's okay. Don't
Henry?
be down. Yeah.
Is that his
Henry, don't be down.
Did you hear that?
What was that?
I haven't had that yet.
Should we just go back?
Hey, we got 200, just like she did.
Okay. Same commercial.
What?
Same commercial.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll tell him that.
Let's go over to this monument. Well, let's go by the kids. The only thing we got was 200 as well.
200 as well.
Yep.
So maybe the damn 200 is
Yeah.
something relevant. Any numbers? Because this is
Nope.
one of the spaces where we had like the triple digit stuff.
I've got 0.1 and 0.2.
Damn it. And you've switched the dial?
Yep. Should I go back to the other
Yeah,
one?
Henry's.
No, wait, what was that? Oh, never
No,
mind.
it's
that was
just
stuff in
different.
between.
Yeah.
Like,
That's interesting. 200 as well. You're getting, okay, good. Is your like screen flickering a little bit, or are batteries dying on the light?
I think
We're
so.
okay.
So-
So at this space is where things start to die in this guy, because it's pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
So I've noticed like if I don't have it fully charged all the way until before I leave the house, it might start to flicker at the last stop.
Gotcha.
So
Apparently, there must be some like limit on the section time or something.
yeah, every 10
You gotta,
minutes
like,
it'll
restart,
flicker.
yeah.
Those files are giant. Like that thing has to
Really?
work overnight so I can watch it
Oh,
in the
okay.
morning.
Okay.
Like it
Gotcha.
takes that long. I have multiple computers in my office, so everything is being uploaded through a different computer, so that way nothing gets bogged down. Yeah, my desk is ridiculous. So like my whole office is nothing but books and ghost hunting gear and
Oh my
batteries and
gosh.
charging, and I have a whole charging station for everything, because I do this every night, so
Yeah.
everything's got to be fully charged every night.
For how long?
What's that?
Every night for how long?
I've been doing the tours for 3.5 years now.
Wow.
So rainy days, obviously I take a vacation. I
Mhm.
own the business. I do whatever the hell I want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But if I need a break, I will move people if I have to, or if I can. But if I need a break because it's just been like 3 weeks straight without 10 people a night, like I will take a break.
Yeah.
I will call people and say like I just need a mental break.
I bet, yeah.
So it does occur. This can be a lot, especially as much as I'm even going to be working on your stuff in the morning for a
Right.
few hours. So
Yeah.
I go home and my night's not over. Like,
Yeah.
I actually start the thermal imaging camera when you guys leave, so that
Mm.
way when I get home, I can upload it to YouTube to that computer, and all the software is in the phone. So I
Gotcha.
start it because I have to drive an hour to go home.
Mm.
So it's
Wow.
done by the time I get home. And now that we have the SLS camera, I do that one on the way home too, because they both use the same software to splice them together. Yours, however, works completely different, has its own laptop, and it does nothing but that. And that's where I create all of my marketing videos too.
Gotcha.
So because it's the Microsoft Surface, so it's compact, it's small, and I can work on it anywhere. So I do
Dang.
create my videos with that.
Dang.
But yeah, my desk is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Organized chaos.
That's what I was just gonna say.
All right, let's go wrap this up. Let's get it ready to go.